go, getting snared by Morgana and killed by the Dark Binding. But meanwhile, Zed actually picking up the mid lane turret from that.
Yeah, they actually turned that engagement around very nicely. They might even lose the second and middle turret here. It's dropping down to about half health, but no. Zed doesn't have enough minions to back it up. And actually, they might lose the top turret.
Yeah, lots of pressure being put down everywhere from Salmon Hunters, doing a really good job of just keeping pressure all over the map. They will be able to get this second tier tower in the top lane.
Yeah, that is another turret down. 4-0 now. Creating actually not as big of a gold advantage as you would think. The one dragon and actually the extra kill for Westside is really able to keep that gold lead a little bit smaller. One other thing I'd like to point out, all the lanes are actually out farming Westside right now. They're down about 15 or more CS. Now, iBuzzy going on to Declan. Declan's caught by a Descent, so he might not get caught here.
And Declan doing his best to run away, actually uses his death mark off the clock. Declan getting dropped really low. Clock taking a huge amount of damage. He will drop to Declan, and Declan will fall to Thresh. But meanwhile, 7 Humpers are actually just taking a free dragon in exchange for that. So I'm sure Zed does not mind at all.
Yeah, one member of their team goes down. They take another objective somewhere else. They're really dominating the map, despite what the kill score says about them. It's 1-for-1 in Dragons now, but it's 4-0 in turrets. They have the map pressure. They don't really have the vision. They have probably a couple wards down near the bot side of the map. Aaron is my name, getting found by RDX in this jungle. He walked over a ward there. And he might get caught out here. Nope. No, Aaron does not want to engage that.
We do see a lot of the blue team heading down here, trying to catch out Zerg, and Aaron is my name though. Cycle Cide, hey, almost in range for a snare though. Doesn't look like he's going to try going for it. Gets smoke screened, a little bit hard to see. Aaron is my name, doing his best to juke. Actually has to use his ultimate right onto Cycle Cide. Still doing his best to escape. Oh, just jukes the Dark Binding and we will get away just safely.
Yeah, it's just that Salmon is dominating the map right now, like I said. As soon as Westside wants to turn their attention to counter some pressure, Salmon responds with even more pressure somewhere else. They're going to get this turret here for Westside, the first of the game for them. But there's already 2 versus 1 in the mid lane taking down the second tier mid turret. No, 3
actually,
in the mid
3
lane.
members in the mid lane now. They're actually going to get a tier 2 in exchange for a tier 1, so definitely worth it for Salmon Humpers.
And even better, it was a mid turret, not a bot lane turret. They might even get this.
They're actually pushing in for the inhibitor turret now. Just they realize that the entire of Westside is still trying to recall, and they're actually trying to take this down as fast as they can. They do get it. Look like giving it back away. Techno getting a little bit caught out though. Does use his death mark onto. He's trying to run away. Uses shadows to escape. Heiko getting a little bit caught out. Doesn't have anywhere to run. Getting locked down, and he will fall to Thresh.
Yeah, Naxo picking out that kill. Scumbag Thresh now at 3-2 for his troubles there. Declan getting caught here. No, he will dodge out the Dark Binding. He should get away very safely. Though, there's 4 members up on this top side of the map. They might actually catch him out here.
Declan's just trying to recall where he is. He realizes he's in trouble. He actually has been seen. He's going to try and run for his life. Doesn't really have anywhere to go. Actually gets snared by iBuzzy, trying to survive as best as he can. Uses shadows to escape. Elise Repel just not quite in range. Manages to make it to the bush. He's going to just try to recall right there. And, sorry, Westside just going to go for a Baron.
Yeah, it looks like they might even get this too. They have all 5 members in the area. And really, all of Salmon Humpers is not in position to contest this. Only Aaron is my name here. He might try to steal with the Solar Flare. That's really the best I can hope for right now. But it should go down for Westside. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And
So that is a Baron for Westside now.
That is exactly what they needed to counter all this map pressure. They should be able to push down at least a couple, or 2 or 3 or more turrets just as this Baron buff. They have to recall. They have to heal. And if they do that, they're going to lose their inhibitor.
And so we'll see what Salmon Humpers decides to do here. They're going to try to put down a lot of pressure in mid lane. Westside definitely doesn't want to lose their inhibitor. You see RDX using the True Shot Barrage just to clear the wave, try to keep some pressure off of his mid lane as his team regroups. And it looks like Salmon Humpers just going to do their best to take as much of the enemy's jungle as they can.
Yeah, and one thing I just noticed is that RDX still went for the Spirit of the Elder Lizard item even after getting the Bloodthirster. I think Westside feels like they're behind in gold right now, even though it's only 3,000 and they have that Baron buff. He's really just going for as cost-effective of a build as he can at the moment, which is really just what that Spirit item does. All the Spirit items actually are just there for their cost-effectiveness for the junglers, and it's just the feeling of being behind. Even with the Baron buff, they're just They're only just now gathering to push this first mid turret. They're 1-6 in turrets. They have to turn this around now while the Baron buff is still active, or they're going to feel like they're even further behind.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the great thing about the Baron buff is that you get that huge regen off it. So even if you take a little bit of poke from sieges, you are able to regen that back off if you can stay back. Problem is that Salmon Humpers does have a really hard engaged team. Two-shot barrage going down across. They're doing their best to try and siege this mid turret here. Lots of wave clear coming out from Salmon Humpers though. It is really difficult for Westside to try and get these turrets.
Yeah, and that's the one deterrent for Westside right now. They're relying on the Graves and basically everyone to wave clear. Almost everyone on Salmon Humpers actually can wave clear fairly well. Now the static Shiv is in there for Zerg. He can really get it down with the buckshot, the static Shiv passive, the Vlad wave clear, and
Vlad actually getting caught by death sentence. He will pull Sanguine Pool out of there, get away safely. He does lose a lot of health though.
And look at the damage on the turret. It's hardly even scratched. There's only about a minute and a half left on Baron buff now, and Westside hasn't done anything with it. They haven't been able to.
This was the problem with their team comp, is that they don't have really good sieging power. They don't have something like a Caitlyn or any long-range AD carry to help siege. Almost everybody's pretty much melee range. Morgana doesn't have a lot of range. And Clock it's too risky for him to go into Spider Form to help siege. RDX is literally all they have, and he's not doing a whole lot of damage right now. He's actually taken very low by the combination of the turret and Zerg and Zed.
Yeah, the Bloodthirster plus the Baron buff should be able to heal him up pretty quickly from that, though. No minions quite hit the turret yet. That last push actually did get a bit more damage on that turret. Got down to about half health from about 90%. A couple more minion waves should finish that off, but that's about all they have left of the Baron buff is those two waves.
Yeah, they do have their cannon minion here now. They should be able to get that. Dekdom actually getting hit by the snare and the vest on the team. He's going to get nuked really hard. He will be dropped down to cycle. Cid. Clock taking a lot of damage though. Zerg trying his best to kite away as best as he can. He takes a lot of damage, will fall. Here's my name is trapped in the snare and dark pool. He will also fall, and the mid turret goes down. This is exactly what Westside was looking for.
Yeah, that was a 3-for-0. They might even get the inhibitor off. This is exactly what they needed. They were tired of playing the wave clear of the game. They just decided to engage as soon as they got one pick onto Zed there. This is going to be the inhibitor.
Lux is actually trying his best to get in there. iBuzzy going for him to engage. Sanguine Pool used. Cataclysm being dropped down onto Clock. Clock just barely living. The Lantern will save his life. Trying his best to do some damage onto Haxo. Haxo actually will drop to RDX. And they're going right back to this inhibitor.
Yeah, that will be the first inhibitor of the game. That's a great turnaround.
Luxian actually getting stunned down. Flay going down. True Shot Barrage being dodged by the pool. RDX is going really hard. It takes him down. Flashes away from the turret just to be safe.
Yeah, this whole game is on the knife's edge right now. Even with that inhibitor down, the gold is dead even. The Baron buff, I believe, just wore off. All of Westside disengaging from that. They have a nice wave from that top lane they might be able to return to soon. But no, it looks like Dekdom will clear that out. And very good push from that Baron buff. They got an inhibitor off of basically nothing already in that mid lane.
Yeah, that was exactly what Westside needed to do to get back into this game. They found the advantage, and they abused it as best as they could. They got that Baron buff because they knew Zed had nowhere to run, forced him to retreat deep into their base, so by the time he recalled and got to Baron, there was no hope for them to steal. Aaron is the name, did try to steal it, couldn't quite get it off, and they managed to get a huge push off of that one Baron.
Yeah, and most importantly, that inhibitor was down in the lane where they lost their inhibitor turret. It's a relatively good deterrent to push, to have that super minions in your advantage in basically where the inhibitor is exposed. But also, look at the turret count that's still there for Salmon. Is it Salmon?
It's Salmon.
Dang it, I'm already forgetting. It is Salmon.
Salmon Humpers, yeah. Salmon Humpers is up his turret still. They are actually down 7 kills, but the gold lead is pretty much even. They're only less than 1k down in gold. So yeah, it is still a really tight game. Dekdom actually getting caught out by the whole team. Exhaust going down on him. He does shadow and flash away from that. Huge engagement going down. The box being dropped down. Heiko actually getting caught out, taking a lot of damage. There's nowhere to run. And he actually manages to flash away. Shutdown going down onto the Ezreal for Zed. It's a really tight engagement here. Really hard to see what's going on. iBuzzy taken really low. There's a huge turnaround coming out for Salmon Humpers. Actually being chased down, trying to run away the best they can. iBuzzy just barely being saved by the spell shield. Zerg getting caught up by the Dark Binding. The chase is still on though. Luxgen trying his best to catch up to Spike Down Cid. Luxgen probably going to have to give up this chase. So actually pooling, trying to catch up the best he can. Will give it up though. Actually picks up the kill on Naxo and will get caught out by iBuzzy and Spike Down Cid. But you pick up another kill on Maokai.
And meanwhile, in the bot lane, Clock actually might get. No, he won't get finished off by Aaron. Is my name. 4 for 3 overall in that long chase. RDX got caught out actually very early in that engagement, and he went down. Also, when the whole Wombo combo was going down, Spiketown Cide actually backed off while his Soul Shackles was being channeled. So he lost a lot of that potential crowd control and lockdown onto Salmon Humpers, and he backed off before even one of the stuns was procced. He didn't use the Zonia's Hourglass to really make sure he was safe while that was getting channeled. So they probably could have won that fight if he stayed in there. And yeah.
The thing about both of these teams is that they both have really strong jungle team fight. We actually see Westside heading over to the Baron buff. There is no vision for either team on it, so it looks like they might be able to pick this up. But both teams do have really strong jungle fights with the Jarvan ultimate and the Hemo Plague from Vladimir. It's really hard for both teams to actually get out. But the same thing with Morgana with Soul Shackles. If they have nowhere to run in the jungle, she's definitely going to even be able to get all 5 of them. And we see a Baron contestant going down right now.
And so far comes down.
Going down onto High Fuzzy here. Hemo Plague being dropped down, huge damage. Cataclysm being dropped across here. Zerg actually getting caught down into the Soul Shackles. Zerg will drop down. Clock will pick him up. Heiko getting dropped down to Morgana. The entire enemy team is on the run trying to run away, and they will clean it up. It looks like they're going to shift their attention back down to Baron. No, actually, they're just going to go back for the push, realizing they're too low to contest the Baron. Oh, actually, Surrender Bolt going down here, and that will be game for Westside.
Yeah, just like I was talking about the fight before, Spiketown Cide actually stayed in the fight, got 4 men caught in the Soul Shackles, and each of those 4 went down very quickly. It won them that team fight, and it forced the surrender of Salmon Humpers. They were still not even 2k gold down at the end of that. I'm surprised this